Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we have another video of which badges should you apply to a player. So we're going to be looking at Yi for this video. So yeah, I had a few requests for Yi. I'm not too sure why, because I mean there are quite a few badges you could add to the card and you can only add 5 to a diamond card, which is a little frustrating. But yeah, we're going to be looking at Yi. I will not be putting the badges on the card. I'll just be recommending you guys which badges to put on the card, just because as soon as I do his agendas, I'm going to be selling him. I have no desire to keep this card. As good as he is, like, he does have good dunking, he has good animations, he has a really nice jump shot. I just have no desire, just because he doesn't get in my team, which is a little unfortunate. But he is still a phenomenal card, so I think if you do pick him up and add him to your lineup, you should be adding badges to him. But if you guys do go on to enjoy today's video, if you could drop a like in the video and subscribe to the channel if you are brand new around you, and comment down below guys how many Galaxy Opals you currently have in your collection. Me personally, I think I have 8. I have 8, alright, and quite a few of them are reward cards. So yeah, I imagine you guys have a few of them as well. So let me know in the comments guys how many Galaxy Opals you have in your collection. Now, discussing Yi. So this card's quite a weird one. He has really nice speed, he has a really nice ball handle. His dribble moves, like his behind the back, is a really nice behind the back as well in game. So there's quite a few badges you could add to the card. If we just I have like a short list of different badges you could add to this card. So I have 6 that you guys should think about adding to your card. Now I don't have, just so you guys are aware, I don't have tight handles, because tight handles is mainly used if you're breaking down a defender, and I don't think this guy really has the dribble moves to break down a defender. Say Giannis, for example. Giannis is a perfect big man that could use tight handles because he has really nice dribble moves. Aside from Yi, he has a few like crossovers and a few, obviously he's behind the back as well, but I don't think he really needs tight handles. I don't think he personally needs it all that well. But these other badges I do definitely recommend you guys add to him, just because his stats really shows well. And of course, we will be talking about the shoe as well. So the first badge we're going to be adding to the card is DEADEYE. Now, you can skip this one, but obviously adding it to the card makes the card absolutely phenomenal. Reduces the impact of a defender who's closing out. Now, this guy on the 3-point line, if you're running him a power forward or center, it really doesn't matter all that much. But if he gets open on the 3-point line, he is so money from the 3-point line. Aside from the top of the key and the left mid-range portion of the shooting range, they're all hot. So he is going to be knocking down jump shots like there is no tomorrow. So I think DEADEYE is definitely a badge that you should get on every single card you have. Obviously, that's why it's really expensive. It's quite a rare badge. It's quite an expensive badge, which obviously, yeah, it's just a badge that you definitely should be adding to the card. Obviously, if you can't afford the badge, obviously the badges are going to cost more than the player itself. In DEADEYE's case, so obviously if you guys don't want to add DEADEYE, I do recommend you do add DEADEYE, but obviously you can skip this one if you'd rather not pay that price. Now the next badge we're going to be adding is SHOWTIME. So the bronze version of SHOWTIME is the more expensive one, which is kind of surprising. Badges really depend on which one's the most expensive one. Like gold and silver, not really that expensive. Well, silver's not really that expensive. Gold, bronze for some reason quite expensive. So if you guys don't know what SHOWTIME boasts, a team's takeover meter after completing a highlight play. That could be a block, that could be a high profile dunk, it could be a 3-pointer, it could be anything. As long as it's a highlight play, it is going to boost your team's overall takeover meter. So again, I think this is a badge every single player in your lineup should have. It's just a very nice badge to have on every single player, and it's not like reasonably expensive either. Like it's a top quality badge that I do recommend everyone has. Now another badge I think every player in your lineup should have is defensive leader. It boosts the defensive abilities of a teammate when in game. If you have every player running defensive leader, that's just going to increase every single player's defensive abilities. Just overall, just a really nice badge to have, and one I would definitely recommend to every single player in your lineup. Now unfortunately, another expensive badge that he doesn't have is clamps. I do think clamps can work really well on this card just because of the guy's wingspan. It's a badge that is very desirable on every single card because obviously it's clamps. But yeah, it's another badge that almost every single, especially if you're like playing high levels of unlimited, or even just like if you want to be competitive in Triple Threat Online, it's a badge that you need to have. You really need to have, otherwise you're really going to struggle with this particular card on the defensive end. And the final badge we're going to be adding is Range Extender. Again, sadly, quite an expensive badge. Gold isn't that expensive, to be honest. Let's have a look what bronze is. Because gold isn't like, it's, you know, it's still a pricey badge, but it's not as expensive as DEADEYE. And because of this guy's really nice shot release, I think range extender could work very, very nicely with this card. Obviously, quite expensive badge, which is a little unfortunate. Do I have all of range? Do I have it? I have all of range. Ooh, let's go, boys. All right, good stuff, good stuff, good to know. But yeah, guys, that's all the badges we would have. We'd have DEADEYE, we'd have Showtime, Range Extender, Defensive Leader, Clamps. If you don't want to add DEADEYE because of how expensive it is, you could add Handles for Days, but I don't think this card really needs Handles for Days. But that would be the one I would swap. Or maybe Pick and Roller, because obviously this guy, you will be involved in the pick and roll quite a bit, so that is another badge you could think of as well. Another card you might think of wanting to add in is Bailout, just because obviously these are like the honorable mentions, but the five I've said are the ones I recommend. Again, guys, take into account your playstyle. Do you like rim rounding with your power forward? Do you like dunking more? Do you like shooting more with your power forward? Really take into account with that, because obviously this is just how I like to play. I like dunking, I like shooting, so that's Showtime and Range. Defensive Leader, I think Defensive Leader and Clamps, I just think are two badges you desperately need. DEADEYE, really expensive badge, but one I think is really important, especially like if you are shooting with this card a lot. It's just the closing out in this game is really, yeah, it's very hit or miss. Like you could be literally on a player's head and it will be 2% contested. So yeah, that's what DEADEYE can really do for you. But yeah, guys, that's it for the badges. Again, the honorable mentions I have is maybe Pick and Roller, maybe Stop and Go as well, like obviously, but it's quite rare that I'm actually like ahead with my power forward. If you guys get me, if you're like running the fast break and you need to do a stop and go, it's quite rare the power forward's on the ball. So again, honorable mention, kind of just depends how you play. Tie handles, if you like dribbling with your power forward, like maybe you're running triple threat online a lot, I'd maybe consider tie handles then. But in terms of like 5v5 unlimited gameplay, I wouldn't really recommend tie handles because you're not really going to be breaking down your defenders with a power forward. But the main five I would recommend: DEADEYE, Showtime, Range, Defensive Leader, and Clamps. Alright, boys, in terms of the shoe, now again, this is a very particular one. It kind of depends how you guys like to play and also what coach you have. So in terms of like, for me, I would have the Kobe ones, just because it's not that expensive of a shoe. Like it's not, you know, the big three that are currently like 40 or 50k currently. The Kobe 1 increases its dunk, its layup, its interior, its perimeter defense, and its speed with ball. The reason why I have this one is because I don't need to increase his shooting that much, because I do have Mike D'Antoni that increases his mid-range and his three-pointer, as well as his speed. So it kind of like adds all together. If you don't have D'Antoni, you might want to like research the badges more. But if you don't have the D'Antoni coach, I would recommend maybe the Air Force Max 2s. That increases the close shot and the free throw, the mid-range, the three-pointer, and the stamina. Or you might want to get a more defensive badge, such as maybe the KD 13s, because that increases his perimeter defense, his three-pointer, his speed with ball, and his steal. So again, guys, but they would be the ones I would recommend. Obviously, I'd have the Kobe ones just because I have D'Antoni, and D'Antoni kind of increases the stats that I'm really looking for. All right, boys, so that's the badge and shoe recommendations for Yi. Again, guys, I apologize that I'm not applying the badges to him himself. It's just as soon as I get done with his agendas, I'm going to be selling this card. He's a fun card to use in terms of like the few games I've used with him. His dribble moves are kind of somewhat nice. Like I only really use the behind the back with him. His jump shot's really nice. His dunk animations are nice. Overall, he's a really nice budget card. So do I recommend him for 40k? If you really can't go anywhere else in terms of a power forward or center, I would recommend this card because he's a lot of fun to use. But in terms of like me personally, he doesn't get in my team, which is why I'm going to be selling him. So guys, that's it for the video. If you guys have enjoyed, if you could drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are brand new around here. I shall see you guys all later. Take care and peace.